Let's laugh at iDubbbz. Apparently, he came on the internet to explain why he apologized to Ethan Klein. Such a weirdo. I do think that lawsuit should have kept going. Maybe that's just me being petty, but let's see what he had to say. Don't forget to hit the like button and hit the hype button as well.
I guess I'll talk about the apology a little bit, or not necessarily the apology, but kind of my headspace going into it. Because I don't know, some people are. I don't think most people are confused. Because I was gonna do the apology whether or not Ethan Klein, like there was no guarantee that Ethan Klein would drop the lawsuit, right? So, and in Canada, you know, you are in a lot of ways incentivized to solve this and make apologies, and it isn't counted as like an admission of guilt necessarily. It's kind of like, why wouldn't you, especially if it makes you feel a certain way? So I was actually coming back from wood class, and oh yeah, and that's also important to know. There were no behind the scenes like conversations or negotiations or arrangements between Ethan and I. You know, I came to this on my own, and yeah, I was driving home from wood shop, and I was talking to my buddy Clay. And I was complaining to him because I was like, you know, this shit was fresh. And I was like, I found myself like, you know, complaining about how like, you know, unfair it is, and how, you know, Ethan's going after all these smaller creators, and the harassment campaign is just, you know, year after year. And he's made it clear that he doesn't want to stop. When I've communicated that I'm cool with being done with it. And he says, well, the same doesn't apply for me. I'm going to keep going. Like that sort of shit. Like it, you know, it builds up. It's frustrating. But as I was explaining this to my friend, I realized like the thing that's upsetting to me is the fact that I don't feel like I have like a clear conscience. I felt like I got way too caught up in the like being reactive and being like, well, this guy's not leaving me alone, so I guess I gotta engage. And it really sucked in my head, like thinking about how, you know, even Charlie covering it, you know, there's all these people talking about it. And I'm like, I don't want to die on this hill.
iDubbbz is such a baby. How old are you? You don't want to leave me alone. He runs like a drama/news podcast. Ethan's gonna talk about you. Is what it is. If there's a plethora of other channels that's going to cover it too as well, you're a public figure. Your fall off was crazy. You antagonized the audience instead of admitting that you were wrong and just doing your content. Of course, Ethan Klein or anyone is going to call you out. You're going to make nasty, slanderous, just horrible accusations about everyone who does content on you? Is that going to be like a normal occurrence? Does that sound like it makes sense? You won't leave me alone. You won't stop doing videos about me. I'm telling you, there's a lot of people that think like this just because you speak on them, even though they're public figures, right? And it might be your job to give your opinion and commentary on these public figures like they have. They've built careers off of it. iDubbbz has made a lot of money off of calling out people. But then if you call him out, he will purposely put nasty false information on the screen and push it to his audience. Yo, come on, bro. There's no way you could think that you're the victim. Impossible. I know you ain't that dense. Well, maybe your husband or niece have brainwashed you so much that you might be. You never know.
Like, you know, I don't want to die on this hill. Like, there's a lot of lawsuits that, you know, Ethan's engaged in, like the what is it? What's the word? The copyright ones, the reaction ones with Denims, Casey, and Frogan. And then there's the other one with Noah Sampson. And I'm like, I can understand why they would want to stand on business with something like that, but I really don't feel like there's any business to stand on with something like this. It's like, yeah, it's clear. As long as I can be true to myself and say, like, yeah, I've been harassed and it got me to this point where I was being irresponsible. It felt like such a proper and normal admission for myself to not involve people's kids in something like that. And I'm like, that's such what a no-brainer apology for me personally. You know, other people might not feel that way, but I kind of feel like that is, you know, it's easier to feel that way if you weren't the person who said it or presented it, I should say. And yeah, you know.
Now you're saying it's like you a hero or something. You should have never brought up his children in the first place. Why was that even a thought? There's a lot of people that think like this, that become content creators and build a following. And then you realize, oh, they never had the proper maturity or responsibility, right, to be able to handle this. That's what you're doing with your platform? Word, do we really need iDubbbz back out here in these streets? Should we stop critiquing him? Because he deserves it. Look. Look right before your eyes how he acts and what he does. This ain't crazy.
Crazy!
Like, this is disturbing, actually, if you was to ask me. Like, what is wrong with this bozo? Nobody feel bad for you either. And I'm not going to commend you. I've seen a lot of other people clapping their hands and applauding like you did the right thing because he was scared. Because he was terrified.
Yeah. You know, let the fucking, like, let destiny die on that hill. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't need to be my hill to die on. I'm glad he accepted it. Yeah, I'm glad too. I was there and I got a little cringe when you did it. Exactly, Fuzzy Cat. It's one of these things where it's like, I was not doing what my soul wants for me. And yeah, that's like kind of all you can do. It really, you know, ultimately the whole experience was like a proper wake-up call for me to get my head back in the game, because the game, I told you not to. Okay, Thai Chiefs. Well, I wasn't listening to you clearly. Yeah, I just want to get back on the tracks where I'm not engaging in that shit. You know, I still want to, I still want to get, I don't want to be a soft target. You know what I mean? Because that's kind of the problem in the first place, is being a soft target. Lovebug says, I did too. Okay. Awesome, dude. You deserve a trophy, Lovebug. Like, what do you want? You're a hate watcher. Like, yeah, of course the hate watcher is going to say that. I do hope this doesn't mean that Scorched Lagoon isn't coming back. I will be honest. The Scorched Lagoon, I did like it as a fun little gag. So Scorched Lagoon will be around as a gag. But maybe Scorched Lagoon can do his own type of apology to you guys for not being here. The people react-tubing to your apology already talked about you being a pussy or cuck, so they aren't changing their mind. It doesn't matter what they think. Those that like you agree with this apology. Right, it's a reasonable thing. And it's a little bit disappointing to see some, I guess, more progressive people be blind to that idea. And it sort of made me realize, like, oh shit, like, you aren't as morally consistent as you think you are, kind of deal. It's like, what a weird, also not empathetic to like on a case by case basis. I don't know. The inflexibility of it is sort of repulsive to me. Steezy P says, I think you're being a little too hard on yourself, man, but I'm glad you put up the apology to clear your own conscience. Well, exactly. It reminds me, a similar response to the even the initial apology, or not initial apology, the one that I did that Charlie initially reacted to a couple years ago, apologizing for the slur usage and stuff. There were a lot of people who had the exact same response, which is like, well, I wouldn't do it, or didn't feel that bad. Didn't feel that bad to me. And it's like, this is like an exercise in you using your brain.
Damn, it sounded like he was talking about his daddy Hassan. Like his daddy Hassan biker. He was out here saying how he wouldn't have apologized and all this other nastiness. So maybe there's trouble in paradise. I'm still not gonna treat this dude iDubbbz like he a hero. That's for damn sure. You gotta be out your mind. But that is my opinion. Tell me what yours is down in the comment section. Hit the like button and the hype button. And watch more videos. Knowing me, I dropped a bunch today. Go show some love.